headquarters that this is what transpired, this is the money I was put under.
This is interesting. This is interesting because before now you drew an analogy of someone, a prof, in Dogua's case, who probably would have lost his life. So in the end, it's a very dicey situation. But the question I asked wasn't even about the judiciary. It was about our electoral processes and the INEC as an institution. Because a lot of people, have completely written INEC off. Completely. I just wanted you to share your own opinion, at least so that one or two of our audience can gain, from the insights that you are given. So would you say we have progressed? Or would you say we have retrogressed? Or would you say we have become stagnant?
I have said.
Yes, I heard you. But you mentioned the judiciary.
Let me give you a scenario.
Go on.
Let me give you a scenario. That's why I was making all those analogies. I said, look, INEC have a staff strength of 16,500. INEC had to engage youth corps members in their hundreds of thousands.
University
INEC
professors.
had to engage road transport workers. INEC had to engage other people who are not their core staff.
Exactly.
Now, there is this human element that in this 2023, you don't dull yourself. That is the right word. They say no dulling. So, because this, any which way, and that is what is leading to the compromise of the electoral process. Those people, those bad elements, those scoundrels, those undesirable elements who either as ad hoc staff or permanent staff of the commission who will willingly yield to pressure from politicians by allowing themselves to be induced and thereby compromise the integrity of the election. And that's why I'm making two appeals. Shagu, I'm making two appeals. Okay. First is that INEC should activate its power to review election results. This whole issue of inflated election result is too strong to be waved aside. So let Professor Mahmoud Yakubu within this week, before 7th day, set up a small committee, review the complaints, and look at incidences which are bound about results that were inflated and those petitions that have to do with bypass of beavers, and see whether they can use their administrative power to reverse whatever wrong has been done by collation officers and returning officers.
A lot of people will agree with you on that.
Number two, very quickly, sir. Number two submission I'm making is that if INEC, using its own administrative powers, now discovers that whether it's permanent or ad hoc staff that has altered the result of the election to favor one party or one contestant against the other, they should hand over such person to the security agencies for interrogation and prosecution. If you allow it to slide, if you do not identify, arrest, investigate, and prosecute these people who have aided and abetted the political elite to undermine our electoral process, then bigger shock awaits us in 2024 when we will be having election in Edo and Ondo. Because the greatest disincentive to crime is your chances of not getting away with those crimes. That's why even in US, people commit electoral fraud, but the system will find them out and they will be punished. All those people in whose polling units were found pre-filled election results, INEC in his own statement on Saturday night said they will be able to identify them because they have the records and contact details of all the people posted to those polling units. It is for them now to be handed over to security for proper interrogation and later for the commission to to do what? To prosecute all
Okay.
those people who uploaded fake results in Imo State, those who were responsible for altering the the figures of election on beavers, because I saw about 4 5 evidences of beavers recording 2 5 10 15 accredited voters, and then when you see CAT form, which is the
It's a
result
different
sheet,
figure.
you find 700 and something being recorded as the score. That is very easy to dictate, isn't it?
Very.
You know from your record who were posted to those particular polling units. They have identity. You know who your officials in those places are. Then you get the police to invite them for interrogation. If they finger anybody in government, let them be arrested and jointly be prosecuted. If Professor Mahmood Yakubu do not do that, then he's aiding and abetting electoral fraud. So two things I've put forward.
Yes.
I'm not saying that we are not, because whether you like it or not, at least in this last election, we have result of the election uploaded on IREF in a timeous manner. As at 9 p.m. on Saturday, over 80% of results in Kogi and Imo had already been uploaded. And of course, there were less bloodletting, less casualty. Elections started early in many places. So there are a number of things that went well. But this
Okay.
issue of inflated results, we need to determine how widespread they are.
Okay.
And that is why I am enjoining INEC National to activate that provision of the law, which has empowered it to review whatever decisions had been made by the returning officer.
Review and revert.
If you watch the live telecast of those election results, many of the parties, opposition parties, said they have written petitions, and it is believed that these petitions will be submitted through courier to INEC office, both at the state and the federal level. If INEC can use its administrative power as given to it by the Electoral Act to now review these election results and come up with the actual figures, it then will determine whether there will be rerun election and whether the person who has been declared winner will still be declared winner but by a lower margin, or whatever it is, or whether it's the opposition that actually won. And INEC has that power.
Okay.
Let it exercise
Okay.
that.